beautiful.
Yeah, it's sort of like definitely not Udia.
Yeah, well done to Riot for that one. Come on, why is there no Malphite skin? Is Nidalee skin? Yeah, come on. If they had done the Team 4 skin, that would have been great. Could have been a thing. Could have been something you could
It's something that they missed.
I would have said it. I would definitely say it. It's probably not something that's mentioned that often. Anyway, so Gragas starting red buff. Is that standard? Is it helping with his early game clear?
This is actually really smart done by Gragas. He's not going to start on his Krugs. He's going to start on his red, which means that he can go straight to his blue afterwards. If he started on his Krugs, then he could potentially have been met by Nidalee either on his red or on his blue.
I was about to say that. I thought, yeah, it's definitely a safety play because as we look here now, Nidalee is going for an invade into the jungle, and will she meet up with Gragas?
She does in fact find Gragas.
There we go, she has found Gragas, she has hit a spear, doing some damage, jumping over, she's in that brush, but Gragas dealing that damage because of that red buff. There's nothing Lee can do here, and he's having to move away. He's afraid, he's running, and meanwhile Victor in the mid lane putting some solid damage onto that Lulu. There's just action all over the place. So Nidalee's going to creep away into that jungle and lick her wounds, I imagine.
She's going to hop right out of there. It's not too much of a detriment for her because she's still level 2. It just means she's slower in a clear because she now has to do all of the walking. And that is the one problem with junglers. You got to walk a lot when you fail a gank or an invade.
Yeah, you got to move about and get to places. So it's a bit annoying. If you do have an invade like that fail, she's gone back and she's obviously going to buy, let's see, I'm not sure. There's a new jungle item, that pot. I'm not quite sure how it works.
Runic Echoes.
Runic Echoes.
It's like Luden's Echo, but for the jungle.
Ah, interesting. So it's obviously a standard purchase for any
Very standard for Nidalee's. Sort of standard for Gragas. We can either see a Cinderhawk or a Luden's Echo come out.
So some trades going on in the top lane here between Malphite and Nautilus, but nothing too serious. Just that wet noodle conversation we're talking about.
Looks like Hook might be coming in for a gank though.
Ooh, should be interesting. Oh, and here we go. Malphite, can he get it? Oh, Hooky misses the dash. And sidestep gob is Flash burn and a first blood.
That's heartbreaking. It truly is heartbreaking when you not only give up first blood, but also you flash for it. Unfortunate there, going over, but Team UC actually take out first blood here.
Team UC coming out of the gate strong, hard and fast with a lot of early game trades, and they've been winning those trades. So in the mid lane here, Victor going on to Zemplar on Lulu. And I don't know, would you say that was a trade win? But meanwhile, there's Link coming in for the gank. There's the EW, I don't know the names of these spells, but he misses his spear.
There we go. What a dodge coming out from there. Lovers, he's just going to walk out of there, no problem at all. A little bit low on health.
What's happening in the
It's going to be all right.
Gragas, Nautilus, Victor all moving in, but no, I think they wanted another gank, but Lulu's staying safely back behind her tower there.
Yeah, she's just going to stand right back there. Lulu, she can farm from range. It's not a problem for her. She can be as safe as she wants, and she can't get ganked.
So Gragas in the river there, close to Nidalee, but obviously not going to go. And giving Malphite a bit of free time here to get some farm in top lane, while Nautilus trundles his way back up.
Yeah, that Nautilus, given everything, it actually looks like Sidestep God is not in too much of a problem because he's still up in CS. He's about 10 CS above his lane opponent. Sure, it's not going to be first blood, but it's going to compensate.
It definitely will, But yeah, that first blood, UC must be really happy about that, taking it to the ANU boys.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to help out UC a lot. Get their lead, hopefully snowball it for them, because that's exactly what you want to do into a Draven type comp where they want to fight all the time.
So it's basically standard farming going on down as usual in the bot lane. Draven slightly ahead, 3 CS lane, nothing too much. And so what, launching Vindictive out of their way there. So he can,
dropped his axe.
Drop his axe, yeah.
That's a mana that he's not going to get back.
He's probably slightly tilted about that, I imagine. But no, he's straight back into that farming, and he doesn't seem to be too worried. Just... Whoa, so what really, is he just denying CS to that Draven right now by doing that and just not really worrying too much about his health pool?
Yeah, because when you deny CS from Draven, you're not just taking off the initial gold from it, you're also taking off from his passive. He won't be able to stack it up, so if he pops it, it's not going to be worth as much as if he lost it.
That's right, so Draven's passive, I believe, builds up as he gets more CS, and then when he kills a champion correct, he gets more gold at the end.
Yes, and if you kill 6 CS in a row, you actually get 1 more.
Oh, that's even more pretty good passive. He's just all about that cash, all about that scroll.
It rewards you for last hitting every single thing in the wave.
Now, what have we got going on here? Hook U is posturing in the upper river in the brush here, but also Lead is making his way into
this might be a 2v2.
Sidestep God. So we might see a 2v2. Here we go. Hook U's moving in, but they don't know about the Nidalee.
Oh.
There's the Nautilus hook. Spears from the Nidalee nearly jumping through. Knock up from Malphite as he hits 6. And they've taken down that Norlis. Hukyu's got to escape. Leet flash. Hukyu burns his flash as well. And can Leet put up enough endgame damage here? He might be able to. Can he get this second kill? Oh, he's got the kill. And will he manage to make it out the hill? No! Unfortunately not. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we have some trades going on. So what? Knocking back Janna there. VZI on the Janna. But Draven is putting down some huge damage. And he takes down that poor Alistair there. He just wasn't tanky enough to survive those.
No, he wasn't.
axes.
And he went down in that engage. I'd like to give props in the top lane though. Even though Lee died in that engage, he still picked up 2 kills for his team. That's going to rubber band him straight back in from the first blood that his team gave.
It's a beautiful play there by Team ANU, managing to get a 3-for-1 kind of trade all across the entire map. And there's Malphite teleporting down to the... Oh no, sorry, Norlis teleporting to the bot lane. Manages to get the hook onto the Janna, and Victor's there also to mop up that kill and getting the kill, giving it to your mid lane. Much better than giving it to, say, your slow tanky Norlis.
Not only that, but I'd actually like to point your attention to the build of Lovers. He's actually got a Dark Seal, so that's the precursor to a Medjai's. He's already going to start stacking it right now.
Wait,
that's going to be so deadly.
Are we seeing a Medjai's? Is this an in-meta pick nowadays?
Yes.
Really, it is.
It gives you mana, it gives you AP, it also gives you regen on potions, so early game you're just sustaining to all hell. It's just an all-round amazing pick for every mid laner.
See, I just thought it was a troll item that your YouTubers such as Kiori would pick and get angry about when they lost all their stacks.
Well, maybe not, but given that this is a challenger mid, I wouldn't be so surprised if they just hand over a few more.
Do you think he's maybe just playing that up a bit? Yeah, I'm challenger, I'm building a Medjai's, come at me guys, I'm not afraid.
Well, he's certainly doing it really well because he's already got 2 stacks at 8 minutes in. That's not bad.
Well, yeah, he's pretty happy probably. And some trading going there between Swordstep and Sidey. Nothing too much, but I think Sidestep might come out on top here. And here comes Lee coming in for a gank as well. Oh, the ulti by Sidestep gob. The spear hits from Lee. The flash is burnt, and Swordy gets out with a lovely hook to his own safe tower there.
Although he had to burn his flash. So that's
flash.
going to be extremely painful. Elite wants to come back. It means that now Hukyu has to devote a lot of his time in the top side just to make sure this laner can last hit, can stay in lane, and can get the experience that he needs.
Indeed, and we have a trade going in bot lane here, but thankfully So What knocks Draven back, but he's taking huge damage here from these spinning axes. Another knock up onto the Draven, and Vindictive's just not quite able to pump out enough damage with that CC coming from that So What on the Alistair there.
No, he's not, but still, if you take a look at him, he's a whole 12 CS, that's 2 waves up on Stonefall. And this is exactly what we expected from Vindictive. He just wants to bully out. This guy knows Draven inside out. He knows when to trade, he knows when's the last hit, and he knows when not to catch axes, which is the important bit.
It's indeed the important bit, yeah. He's able to trade like that and still maintain a CS lead, so he's not complaining. He's in a good position right now.
No, I mean, this is his main. This is exactly what he wanted, and they gave it right to him.
They gave it right to him, and I missed out on the Bard. I'm still mad about that.
We both missed out on the Bard. I love Bard, dude.
Such sadness. So, Victor obviously taking the blue, going into the mid lane, back to his lovely little Lulu. But a bit of pinging going on here. Malphite moving down into the blue side jungle, putting a ward, I think, and then just going to wander back up to his top lane. And more trades going on in that bot lane. Stonefall playing aggressive, but is that the right move in this situation?
Not necessarily, because Draven is a really snowball champion. Given that he's already got that 1 kill in lane, it just means that he wants to snowball further and further ahead. You really don't want to fight that coming in, especially as an Ezreal who takes so long to scale. You got a tier, you got an Iceborne, and even then you're not outputting that much damage. It's going to be so painful for him to lane. If you take a look in the mid lane though, I actually give it over to Lovers, not only because of his rank advantage, we're not going to talk about that too much, but also by the fact that Lee took blue. He refused to give it over to Zemplar, which means that he's going to have a slightly hard time, but it's Lulu, so it's not too bad.
Indeed, indeed. Alrighty, just some standard CS. Gragas making his way down to that bot lane there. He was going to try for a gank, but pinged out underneath, spotted by a few wards there in the river as he actually leaves. So posturing past the dragon, and no real early game dragon attempts here or anything along those lines.
No, it's warded out too well by both sides, so going for an early dragon without anybody down on the enemy side is going to be extremely painful. So both teams making the correct choice, not going for either that nor the Rift Herald on the top side is very standard.
Indeed. And we have, I believe, Leet moving to that top lane, sneakily in the brush.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Malphite engages with his ulti. Jumping on by Leet, who managed to hit a spear. He's hooked away, and he's solo, but Leet's going to get it. I believe there was a tick by the Malphite? Oh, Malphite's burning shroudy type item. Please explain.
The Balmy Cinder. It's a precursor to Sunfire Cape. It means that you can push the lane without necessarily wasting a lot of mana. You just need to stand around your enemy minions.
While this is happening, meanwhile,
dragon.
they're taking Dragon, and I believe they'll easily secure it uncontested here.
Here we go. They pinked it out. They got rid of the vision, and they knew that they weren't being watched for the Dragon. It's going to be an early Dragon going over. You're not going to see that in their goal, but they're going to have that 6% AD and AP under their belt when they scale later.
Indeed, so they basically, in the end there, they saw the jungler was top lane and decided, hey, here's our chance. We've lost our top laner. Let's trade this back by getting a quick Dragon.
I feel really bad for Sorty because he's sort of like the sacrificial lamb. You wait until Sorty dies and then you make a play on the map. So you're going to get Dragon. If you really want to continue the theme, you should just move into the bot side, move your bot lane into the top side, and then when he gets ganked again, because he inevitably will, then you can take the Rift Herald. But that's only if they want to prioritize the Rift Herald. That's only if they want it right now.
It's pretty good ideas right there from a lovely analyst, Jimmy. He knows what's up. Jimmy Preacher Foo, laying down the law.
Thank you very much.
Preach it, boy.
Yeah, I'm preaching to the choir. We all know what's going on.
Well, all these highly enlightened individuals in the crowd obviously know what is going on. Unlike someone such as myself who has no idea. There we go. Sorty warding out, and he obviously sees the pink ward there, but I'm guessing he doesn't believe he can contest that pink ward at this stage.
No, and that's the downside from Nautilus. His auto attack speed base is extremely low. It's about 0.7, which means that you're going to have to devote more than about 7-8 seconds just to take out that ward. It's not worth your time.
Not worth missing the CS
it's
even,
not
but
worth your time.
his Gragas comes up and clears it for him. Meanwhile, Victor just pumping out that damage. That Q, that laser beam. So much damage.
It's starting to get strong, especially seeing as it's what you usually augment first. It doesn't really matter in what order, but here we go in the bot lane.
Engage in the bot lane. Draven, his damage is absurd with that Janna shield, but Alistair manages to pop his own ulti and use CC to disengage.
Yeah, so he does get out with his life, but the downside is that he no longer has exhaust, nor does he have his passive, his ultimate, so he's not going to be able to tank up a lot if they decide to engage again. But Lee's coming into the top
here we
side.
go. Sorty is just being abused in this top lane. Lee hits the spear, jumps on. Sorty pops ulti to try and get away, but there's the spear, and Lee just easily gets him in. Hops away on that Nidalee, pops the heal while he takes the tower hit.
There we go. Once again, we see a reoccurring theme in the bot side.
The bot lane, we had a flash engagement of the Gragas there with his ulti. They've got Z. Will he manage to get away? Oh, the Alistair knock pushes him back. Ezreal misses his ulti, and Draven manages to get that Alistair so easily. We have a teleport coming in as well. And a flash. One more there, and go Draven managing to pick up a second kill. Double kill for him with Lulu teleporting in and providing a shield.
And after all things considered, that leaves Draven on 3-0-0. He is in such a lead, and this is exactly what you don't want on Draven, because Draven only goes one of two ways. Either he gets fed, or he feeds the enemy team. There is no middle ground for him, and he's going in the correct direction.
He's going up, up, and up at this stage.
Absolutely.
And the
just
CS
like
lead
size
plus
of his
the
head.
kills is just ridiculous. Yeah. If he gets any bigger, his head will explode.
Here we go, the teleport.
But here we go, we've got a teleport coming in. Another teleport coming here. We got, they're running up to each other.
this?
They've caught out the Victor. Draven putting down huge damage, but he gets caught in Victor's stun. And unfortunately, they all get away. Malphite attempting to engage a bit more, but UC successfully fight off that four-man fight in the bot lane there. I think, luckily, Victor was very close to losing his life then. If it wasn't for that, was his time-up, charge-up stun that he had there, that Draven unfortunately just took one step too far into, he would have been dead meat.
Absolutely. So it's a very nice play. Lovers, maybe in the wrong position, but he manages to survive, so it's not a huge issue. Advantage over, definitely goes over to ANU, all things considered, even with that teleport down. Now it looks like they're going to shove the mid lane.
Indeed, and they've made themselves a 4k gold lead here. Not too much in this time of the game, I suppose.
It's decently significant at this point.
All right.
Yeah, 4K means that you have a whole item cumulatively. It's not going to be on any individual player, but that's all right. If you take a look in this matchup, though, it's really important to note that Leet is really confident in his abilities to continue to camp Sorty. He's actually starting to build a Rod of Ages on Nidalee, which is usually not seen because it just takes so much money, and you don't get that on a jungle salary under normal conditions.
All right, and Rod of Ages, I believe, has been reworked since I last played this game.
It's more or less the same numbers, just a little bit more expensive.
And they changed, I think, it's not on level up anymore. You get stuff.
That's going to be next going in the top there.
Nothing much happening. So more posturing the top lane by Sidestep, Gob, and Sorty. But
Leet's in the top lane again.
He's
not
waiting.
surprising.
And here we go. Sidestep, Gob, and Leet waiting.
Sorty.
Will Sorty get caught out? Oh my god, this is
Sorty.
so any moment now. I'm just expecting.
Oh.
Lead misses his spear, but the ult from Sidestep God knocks up Sorty, and he's not going to be able to get away from that one. Hookyu has made it, but not in time to save his teammate.
Just going to be watching the end then. That's a quarter health on Stonefall. That is so much just from one axe. This is insane. But if you take a look over to the top side, Sorty, he can't even lane at the current moment. He's 0 for 4, he's being dove all the time. This is extremely hard. Hookyu has the right idea in the sense that he's coming top to counter gank, but he's always a few seconds too slow.
Just slightly. Leet's got that timing down a bit better.
Absolutely.
Stonefall! Where did he go? I don't think that was an Ezreal E or a flash. He just disappeared off the map.
Absolutely. He was knocked to the side by Draven, which means that you can't cast any spells in a process, and he died before he could even dash out of there. That was insane.
No chance for him to escape.
Here we go, mate.
Here we go. Draven, he's pursuing this poor little Alistair. But I think Alistair is going to safely walk away in this situation, thankfully.
Get right out of there.
Not a problem. Does not want any piece of what's going on in that bot lane. And will they secure that bot tower? I think they might with this next wave, or are they just
Nobody can defend it. Ezreal does have ultimate.
Oh no. Lead and Sidestep Gob. Just picking on the poor Nautilus here in top lane. Sidestep Gob tanking. But the Ezreal flies through, and this changes things. Sidestep God tanking so much of the towers hit. Lead, throwing a spear and just running away. Meanwhile, IU Lovers trying to stop Zemplar from rotating to that top lane to assist.
And I think that it's absolutely important to point out how Lovers is doing. He's 1 kill up, he's more than 20 CS up. This is exactly what we expected coming out of the mid lane. We want to see this prowess come out from this mid laner, do really well, and we see it in the form of both a kill and a CS lead.
And there's the dragon. Second dragon for Team ANU, soloed by the Janna and the Draven. Oh god, Draven, that bobblehead just floating left and right there. He's willing to run at that Ezreal at any stage. He's not afraid.
It's quite dangerous because you've got a bobblehead and might fall off, but no, he's not scared at all. He's just got to get that U-moves, he's got to get that blood rush, and he's running so fast right now.
I don't think Ezreal has enough power in his kit right now to knock that bobblehead off of that Draven, so he's just going to keep being a menace to him. But meanwhile, Leet back up in that top lane, but I believe he's just perusing his way through the jungle. Now, have we seen any interesting item builds that you can spot out here at the moment?
It's actually quite strange how Ezreal opted to finish off his Manamune. Generally, what Ezreals like to do is they just get a tier, and then they go straight for the Iceborne. Because he wanted to go for this Manamune, which arguably does stack slightly faster because it stacks off your auto attacks instead of just spell cast, he's going to miss out on a lot of his damage early. He's got that Sheen component of the Iceborne Gauntlet, but it's too little too late, and he almost certainly cannot trade with Vindictive at the current moment.
He can't trade at all. No. Do you think it would have been better to have finished that Frozen Gauntlet just to I don't know, the safety aspect of it, to be able to throw down a Q to escape?
Yes, it's damage, it's kite, it's just all around an amazing item. Finishing off your tier doesn't really help that much on Ezreal because you'd be casting all the time anyway. It's a little bit of gold, that doesn't go a long way.
Indeed. So, yeah, I think the Throws and Fists would have been a much better choice then, just because of how thumped he is getting by this Draven. Absolutely. He wants to stop him chasing him, and that would have been the safest way for him to do it while still following his optimal build path, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. It is still optimal. You get 20% CDR from Iceborne Gauntlet. That's so strong on Ezreal because it means that your Qs will be coming out like all hell.
And there goes the bot lane tower. First tower taken at 19 minutes and 40-something seconds. So is that slow by today's standards?
That's extremely slow. But then again, we haven't seen a lane swap, so we don't see the 2-3 minute turret take. It's perfectly natural, although I would have liked to see it a little bit faster to accelerate the game, to open the map maybe for both teams. Unfortunately, we didn't see it here though.
And here we go, Sidestep God securing that top tower shortly after the bottom at 20 minutes, about 10 seconds. Yeah, so an engage going on the mid lane, Vindictive pumping out some damage onto Hookyu on the Gragas. I believe the Ghosties were sent out, and IU Lovers is nice and slow.
Yeah, and I like to point out how that's 2 turrets in 1 minute. That's going to be such an influx of gold for Team ANU. They're going to have so much gold under their belt, their next back. It's going to be completely hard to make.
Sidestep God has been caught out by himself, but luckily, two-man ulti by Sidestep God. He's trying to disengage, but Hookyu's not letting him. But there we go, the ulti from Lulu saves the day, and he's managed to flash away, but the flashes after him are coming through. Ezreal managed to pick up on the Malphite, and more damage coming through. Vindictive he's sitting there in the back line, just throwing down, double kill for him. Leet flashes past the sun, smashes that Ezreal, but it doesn't manage to secure the kill while Leet's he's chasing. The challenger player wasn't able to pick up Leet there. IU Lovers so close, managed to escape, and
he chooses to stick around, but what an engage coming out for ANU. It's going to be a 4-for-2 trade. That's
Four
going
for
to be
two?
completely
I think
insane.
Three for two.
3 for 2, sorry. Yeah.
Jungle, ADC, and support for top lane and support. So I'm pretty sure we're going to say Team ANU definitely got away with it a bit better
Team
there.
ANU came out not only with the gold advantage by killing people, but also with the map advantage. Lead's going to deny the enemy jungle like he should be doing.
Indeed.
He is proficient on Nidalee. He is deadly on Nidalee. He's stacking his Rod of Ages already. He's going to be so hard to deal with come when that gets 10 stacks.
And we also have to point out that those double kill went to the Draven, so he's just building up more and more golds. He would have popped his passive and possibly made a ridiculous amount just then. And obviously, yeah, more kills going to lead is always beneficial for them at the moment.
So much, and if you take a look at Draven's build, he's actually sitting on Mercurial Scimitar. That's going to get rid of so much CC. The only one way you can counter him is to hard CC him, maybe even with the Victor Gravity Field.
Yeah, Victor Gravity
but
Field,
he could just cleanse it straight away and keep on going, hit your ADC, hit your mid laner, which is really, really strong in this case, and there's no way that you could necessarily counterplay him.
Indeed, indeed. So a bit of posturing in the mid lane here. We've got most of Team ANU pushing their way down. Gragas still off to the side for Team UC, lurking in the jungle brush. But Malphite making his way back up to the top lane while Draven comes into the mid lane, and Elite on Italy just clearing some wolves.
Yeah, if you take a look at Draven's build, he's got a Phantom Dancer that reduces damage from whoever he chooses to 1v1 with that Phantom Dancer. But take a look at his gold lead. He is about nearly double the gold of Stonefall. That is completely insane. You got an Ezreal who is on about half the CS of Draven. He just wants to farm up. Let's not talk about the kills. That's just so hard to play.
You can even point out here that the Janna is only, what, 1k behind the Ezreal ADC, and that's got to be disheartening.
Yeah, that's crazy because you got the poke from your spell thieves, but that's really all your gold generation.
Oh, and what do we got here? Sidestep Gob lurking in their aggressive side of the brush to the top of the mid lane there. I'm not sure if he was spotted out by a ward, but he definitely was when he left. And now they want this mid tower, and Draven is just pumping down damage.
One of the downsides of Draven is that he doesn't take down turrets very fast. Welling Axis doesn't work on turrets, but nonetheless, he still has AD to take it down.
And look at this,
he took that
Lee
one down.
just playing with him in the jungle there, throwing lovely spears left, right, and center. I did miss a few early on. Oh, Draven just walks into that. And here we go, Malphite engages with his ulti. Draven ulti comes through, Lulu pops up and manages to get IO lovers. Oh my god, so what is flashing out? Lulu flashes in to secure that kill, and a double kill going to the Lulu, and Sorty's in a bad position here. Can Malphite get the slow? Lee jumps in, and there we go. Vayne manages to pick up the kill there.
Now it's a 4 for 0.
Now it's a 4 for 0, and
that's going to be 4, and
here we
it
go.
looks like they've got their eyes on Baron.
Moving towards the Baron pit instantaneously. It's after 20 minutes, so it's no longer the Rift Herald.
Yeah, but what an amazing pick out. Sidestep God ulted on 2 people that just locked them up for the entire duration, and then we saw the Lulu ult onto him, which is exactly what we expected coming out of this comp. It just pretty much secured those 2 kills, and then they managed to catch Sorty out in the back.
It makes it so versatile at the moment with that Malphite and that Lulu. They can save the Lulu ult for safety wise, or for their ADC, or they can pump up Sidestep Gob as he flies in.
And now we see a 14k gold advantage going over to Team ANU.
It's getting a bit absurd now what they've got. Baron, 3 towers, 14k extra gold. They're up by 11 kills. It's looking pretty dire here for UC. After such a great early start, getting that first blood, and they probably had their spirits really high at that moment, but looking at it now, it's dark and grimy out there for them.
It's dark. The one saving grace is maybe to ward out the jungle a lot and to catch people out, because you got Nautilus, who essentially is a free...
Will the Ezreal steal with his ulti? Oh, so close.
No, not going to be a steal from Ezreal.
No Ezreal steals today, folks.
Yeah, but you see, their one saving grace is to catch somebody out with all of Nautilus's abilities and maybe snowball a 4v5 from there on in.
Indeed.
It does look extremely hard, though, because Team ANU, they're not pushing forward without pushing forward their wards as well.
Yeah, they're keeping that vision controls firmly in their grasp. They don't want to go anywhere that they can't see, apart from possibly Leet, because he has so many ways to get out.
Exactly. I mean, you got Leet with his traps on the ground. They sort of work as wards. They don't necessarily reveal until somebody steps on them, but hey, when they pop, you know somebody's there.
Yeah, you definitely do. And they're posturing in the mid with the 4 players while Sidestep God does split the map with that Baron buff, I suppose it makes a huge difference, and you're able to push any lane so much quicker because of it.
Exactly. We're going to see about 1 minute before bot starts to really pressure in the bot side. They might even get this turret for free. It looks like UC, they're going to group up 5-man mid. They might want to play it straight away.
Are they going to rotate down? Oh, Swordy, attempting a Nautilus hook there, but narrowly avoided. Spear flying in from lead, but not able to inflict any damage. And Vindictive throws, I think, a hit onto IU Lovers, who rallies back with a nice Q.
Yep, just going to dash right back there. In the end, the only person who takes substantial damage is So What.
Let's keep an eye on Sidestep God here. He's lurking behind them. We can see him on the mid.
Sidestep God on the Malphite. He's trying to find a flank.
Catch someone out. The Nautilus is moving towards him. He's warding. And there we go. Q from Sidestep God, smashing down. He's going to get stunned in a moment, probably.
Yeah, he's living up to his name right now. He's just Swordy trying to get some water.
Here we go. The ulti, a 3-man ult coming in from Sidestep God. Pumped up by Lulu's ulti. Displacement from the Gragas, but unfortunately Draven is just sitting there, making this his world. IU Lovers managed to get a drag onto the Lulu. Oh, and there's a knockway. Vindictive. Look at him go. He's pursuing. And no, they've decided we've got enough. 4 for 1 is good enough. So Zemplar did go down in that fight, but he threw down that utility that was required before falling.
Lulu went down, but she did use her ultimate. That's all that counts. And now it looks like they're going to push out into the base.
They're going into that base hard. They really want it.
Maybe not. So What is coming up in 5 seconds? They haven't got the minions behind them. They've now lost their Baron buff.
Indeed.
It looks like you should just back off and now pressure 2 other lanes. If you take a look over both Zemplar and Sidestep God, they have their teleports. So now you can either 1-4 or 2-3, and you'd still be able to push down both lanes pretty fast.
Be ready to also jump in at the sign of any team fight when they drop a ward and obviously teleport to it. And Elite just adding some salt to the wound, stealing their jungle on the way out, but Hookyuu and So What are making their way towards him, but they're not going to catch him.
And this is exactly what Lee does on his favorite champion. He just completely denies the enemy. If you don't take their camps, you're going to take their lives, and you're going to completely push them out of their own jungle one way or the other.
Such a rude
Love watching Lee play.
But look there, Draven just throwing down those axes and securing himself a red buff, nice and easy in his own jungle. Nothing to worry about there, nothing out of the ordinary. Stonefall clearing a ward and cruising his way through the jungle. So their next objective is what? Bot lane, top lane tower, or are they just going to try and push through that mid lane?
It has to be the split push, and if we take a look at Sidestep God, no, just going to prove me wrong. I thought he was just going to move straight into their top side, so then they could get that split push, that third entity in the middle, with that inhibitor down, super minions barreling down. It's so hard to deal with.
Indeed. So they're pushing out that bot lane now at the moment. They've got Nidalee and Lulu lurking in the brush, waiting to support should any kind of attack come, and here it comes. Oh, Leet with some big spears.
Zemplar? They might have caught Swordy out.
He's caught out the Swordy there, and here comes Sidestep God. He's going to hold on to his ult. Ghost coming out, slowing down displacement there from Gragas' ulti. Knock up from Janna, but they're just slowly taking him down with all that CC. Ezreal ult flies through, but Swordy is staying alive. Oh, he misses his Q, but
here we go,
Alistair with a knock up, and Zemplar is knocked down, and the game has been paused.
As we have a technical issue.
And apparently there was a DC.
Everyone is disconnected.
So,
everyone's disconnected.
ANU ruined things, folk.
ANU. There we go. He sort of says, you know what? I died on Lulu. I must have disconnected because I'm too good to do that.
I think that's the case. He's like, what, the second death for him? He's just like, nah, too much. I'm out.
Too much. Yeah.
Dropped the Red Bull can, walked out, straight to the reload after party to get drunk.
Unfortunately, he says 2 deaths to his name now. We're not quite sure how this fight finishes. I'm not sure the players have either. It doesn't look like they've resumed it, so we're not going to get this for quite a while now, Zach.
It seems that way, but unfortunately, because they're in the same room too, and the time has caught up, we won't really be able to discuss too much. Maybe the items that they've got, not the gold amounts.
Yep.
Not really the positions or cooldowns. Or positions somewhat, but not really the cooldowns of anyone's spells.
No, not really.
Otherwise, we might give away a bit too much insider information there.
If we take a look over to the gold lead, so it actually looks remarkably even.
Coming back up shortly, which is a good thing.
3 minutes.
Oh, but in 3 minutes though, folks.
Yeah, in 3 minutes we should be coming
quick
back.
Quick toilet break if you really need to go, but obviously you don't want to leave. And well, this guy just stood up instantaneously. That's a bit rude. Come on, buddy. Sit down. Unless you're getting a Red Bull, then go nuts.
Yeah.
Someone throw that man a Red Bull so he doesn't have to leave anywhere. There's one directly behind you, mate. 2 people to the right. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you can listen to us talk for a little bit. We're not that bad. Well, Jimmy is. I'm
Yeah, I am, but we got Zach here, and he's going to spruik all of this Red Bull, so you know.
It's tasty. I am knocking back a few. That's how come I'm able to talk pretty quickly like this, but you know, that's just, no, it's my ADD talking.
Exactly. I love Red Bull as well, so, you know, it's going to go amazingly well. One thing that's really important is that at this point in time, it looks like the mid lane is actually more or less evened up. It's actually going over to Zemplar, despite the fact that he is dead at the current moment.
Dead at the current moment,
yeah,
indeed.
and that is so hard to play against. IU Lovers, who is the person who you were banking on to really carry your team, put all the resources on his back and see what he could do on this Victor, he's now fallen behind his lane opponent. So because you've got this disparity in the favor of ANU, it's going to be so hard to play as you see.
Well, I think it's just hard in general for them at this moment. They're stuck between a Malphite and a deadly bobble-headed Draven at the moment, and he's just crushing them into the walls, the wall of strength that is that Malphite ulti. And the engages from Sidestep Gob have been on point.
Absolutely
I think always,
on point.
and apart from the solo ganks in the top lane, obviously each one of his ultis has at least hit two people, two if not three, and you've got to be happy with that. Like you can't be holding out, I suppose, for that four-man ulti every team.
No, you
fight.
can make the play that will go into a montage reel, but that won't win you the game.
It
And
won't.
he's just using it whenever he can. It's extremely smart of him, and he's living up to his name. Sidestep God, he's coming in from flanks. They don't know that he's coming because he's denying vision along with where he goes. He's not doing it fast, he's doing it smart.
Indeed.
And he just manages to find the 2-3-man knockups.
So an interesting thing about this team fight before it quickly starts is that Sword is actually alive. He managed to get engaged upon so early in this fight. I believe he moved almost from where bot lane tower is, the brush near the Krugs, all the way to just outside of his base walls. And he hasn't died, but Zemplar did, with I think a lovely Alistair engage, and then Victor, stupid amount of damage as he does.
Yeah, and there we go. And when you focus all of your damage over to Zemplar, that's what happens. You just get taken down as a squishy champion who doesn't use your ultimate on yourself.
Indeed. And like, poor Swordy, he has had a rough game, but this is his one saving grace. He got out alive and Zemplar died.
Well,
but
that's exactly what happens. You got a Spirit Visage and you got a Locket of the Iron Solari. That's so much magic resist.
and here we go, we're back into it. So what is engaging on Z and Leet are disengaging. Basically, everyone just disengaged.
Everybody
so
just
they
walks
lost
away.
Zemplar and they weren't keen to continue following that fight because they did focus all of their attention on the Swordy, who is obviously a pretty tanky character right now.
Yeah, exactly. And when you dump all of your damage onto the full tank and you don't quite take him down, that's going to be a downfall because you've got the cooldowns on your back and you haven't got the damage, only Vindictive, but you're not going to chase all the way into the back row through the carries. It's going to be so hard to finish off sorting.
Leet with a fail jump there. We all saw that, Leet. You didn't get away from it.
Oh,
You did
nobody
not
really
lead.
saw that. Come on, Leet, buddy. Got it back in shame.
So 1 minute before Dragon's up, but also more importantly, 1 minute and 30 before Baron. Do you think they'll contest the Baron, or take the Baron, Team ANU, for that split pushing advantage that they're trying to capitalize on right now?
Well, mid still has its inhib down, so eventually if they just do the Baron dance, which is they just stand around Baron but don't necessarily
It'll win
do
out
it.
eventually, from minions alone, yeah.
The minions will push down and it will force UC into a strange position where they have to send Swordy down in order to clear the waves and then teleport in for a fight. And at that point, ANU either want to take the fight or take the Baron.
Alright, so it looks like they're moving for the Dragon at the moment while Sidestep Gold is in still
This
that
is
top
safe.
area.
Nobody can test this one because it's too much risk for not enough reward.
And look at that ward coverage they've got around the Dragon pit right there. Just, they know that they can do this.
All I'm seeing is red.
All I'm seeing is red too. All I see is red. Lady in red is dancing with Jim.
I have no idea what song that is.
Oh, you're singing the Preacher song to me all day and you don't know these
It has
songs.
my name in it.
That's
I have to sing
Here
the
we
song
go.
that has
Oh,
my
they've
name.
moved back into the aggressive area near the blue side's red.
Vindictive
buff.
baiting
And
out.
there we go. We've got the Ghost Pops, Hook You, and Stonefall get caught. Oh, Hook You manages to pop ulti to disengage, and I think they're going to stop that fight pretty quickly, even before it happened. So they want this bot out, but meanwhile in the mid lane, it's just pinged
All
out. by
five of them
UC.
are grouped up. This is the perfect
Leet-
Malphite ultimate
Leet
if he wants
caught
to.
in the Victor stun, but now that's down, and he's
Yeah.
been using that so well to stop.
They don't have the zone anymore. They still have Draven hitting on the turret, and they're grouped up. That is the worst part about it.
It's a
If there's going to be a
dangerous
Malphite ultimate,
situation.
it's going to hit two people at the very least.
Oh, always at this stage, the way Sidestep has been on point. He is warded out in that bush, so he won't get them unawares per se, but...
They're getting chip damage every wave. Here we go, the Swordy once
Zemplar
again.
getting caught by the North, so there comes the Malphite. Ulti manages to get two, followed by Lulu knocking you outside. Zemplar manages to get the Gragas, and now it's slowed down. Janna ult keeping Team ANU alive while they slowly continue to chip down on UC. So 1-for-1 trade there. Zemplar and Hookyu going down. Mid laner for support.
Mid laner for support. It looks like Zemplar did everything he needed to. He popped his ultimate, and so did Hookyu, given everything. But Hookyu's ultimate is much more important for that wave clear. Now they can't disengage from this. ANU's not going to stop. They're going to keep on pushing until they get this turret.
But Vindictive and Lee getting chipped down by this Victor here, and these Ezreal poke. Oh, Swordy unfortunately missing his hook there. And we were explaining earlier on in the day that Lulu's role was to just drop all that support, like, kit, I suppose, onto a player in those situations, and then it's okay if they drop.
Exactly. If Lulu uses all of her abilities, she's done well. If she can get a second rotation, even better. But if she can't, no problem at all. You've done your job. You've performed well. You get a Lich Bane hit off. That's so much damage coming out from Lulu, who should be a utility mage in the mid lane anyway.
Indeed.
She's doing her job just fine. Unfortunately, dying for it, but her team is getting the advantage.
She's back up now anyway, and their Team UC's blue side's inhibitor has also come up. So maybe, do you think they stalled out a bit long here, Team ANU, instead of taking it when it was a bit quicker?
Yes, absolutely. They stalled out a bit too long. Now their prerogative should be to jam down mid lane and get that inhib down once more, because they know that UC can't take a straight 5v5 fight.
Indeed. But the gold lead is also just slowly progressively getting worse. Oh, lead having to pop a flash there to get away from Swordy's hook. And
it actually looks like Baron's going to go.
UC were posturing in the area, clearing wards. I think they want to gain some map control before...
UC definitely owned it for a good while, but they decide to back off. Very smart. They can't take it without ANU engaging. That Malphite ultimate always pressuring you at the end there.
It's always something in the back of their mind they have to worry about. We can't stand next to each other. When it happens, he's going to fly in.
Yeah, and that's so hard to coordinate, because it's easy to say you don't stand next to each other, but how do you communicate where you're going to go?
There we go. The flash ult gets Ezreal and the Gragas.
Oh,
huge disruption there from the Gragas, but Sidestep God's taking so much time. IU Lovers managed to get the support in Janna, and I don't think I saw the Janna. Hookyu slowly going down. Lee manages to take out our top laner there on Norlis, and now it's all just banks. Speed rolling down. Vindictive triple kill. And Lulu picking up the
that's going to be
one.
the ace. They're going to barrel down the mid. This will be game.
This is the end of the game.
Surely.
Huge team fight there.
Yeah, they're not even waiting for minions. They're going to take it up.
I think with Sidestep God's tankiness at the moment, look at it. They've chipped away his shield, and he's got healed by Lee.
Yeah,
shielded by Lee.
Not a problem
Lulu,
at all.
And he's just like
going to back off, but it doesn't even matter. Zemplar, not the person you want to tank, but it's quite all right because you're going to take this down, no problem at all. Take a look at the
Sidestep God throwing down the teleport to, I think, stop
9 seconds on Swordy, who's the earliest one up. This game's going on.
There we go, and our first game winners are, in fact, Team ANU tonight. And right now, folks, we've been speaking for a little while, so we're going to have a quick Red Bull sponsored energy break. We might also get some of our lovely cosplayers down here in just a moment, so don't go away. We'll have a quick chat to them about how they create and deal making these League of Legends cosplay. Anyway, we'll be back in a moment.